For my environmental project, I decided to build a bat house. Here's some facts about bats. There's over 1,400 bat species worldwide. Bats are the only flying mammals, which was something I did not know before doing this project. Bats usually only have a single pup a year, which is a main contributor of why they are an endangered species. Bats are truly not blind. They often rely on hearing but can see certain shapes and colors. Over 300 species of fruit rely on bats as a certain pollinator. The key ones are mangoes and bananas. They eat more than their body weight in a single night, and farmers often rely on bats as a fertilizer through their droppings and a certain kind of pesticide when they eat bugs at night. More than 50% of bat species in the United States is in severe decline or endangerment, which is a very shocking statistic. White nose syndrome, which is a disease where a fungus grows on the nostrils of a bat and changes their behavior and the way they function. Another key endangerment is habitat loss, climate change, and mining, like when they go into caves and destroy their habitat. The bushmeat trade, that isn't so much an issue in the US as it is overseas in like China, and deforestation. So my bat house was constructed out of plywood. It had a divider with one or more pieces of plywood. It had a roof and then an opening at the bottom. And a bat house should often be mounted 12 to 20 feet above ground level to protect the bats from predators. And some key benefits of having a bat house in your property is you'll have a reduce of mosquitoes and bugs on your property. You'll have better plant pollination rate because bats are a key pollinator, and droppings of bats are good fertilizers, so your ground will often be more green and flourish. Some challenges I faced while doing this project was commuting back and forth from Lansing, where my uncle lives, is where I built the bat house. Another was knowing what supplies I needed, like which type of nails and wood that I would need for the project. And another was getting what the supplies I needed from like which stores and what stores would sell what I needed, and finding time to work on the project with all my other classes, but I often found time on the weekends to do this. Some successes I had with the bat house was it was well built and didn't have any real mishaps with it, and bats currently do live in the bat house. I learned a lot about bats and responsibility while doing this project, and I also had fun doing it. What I learned about from this project was bats do not fall into the stereotypes that people often put them in as pests and animals that just spread diseases and have no real benefit to the environment. I also learned how important bats are to the environment and how without them the food chain would often be very much disrupted, and how bats are a key to environmental stability, like how they are a main pollinator, and how something as small as like a bat house can make a difference in helping the endangerment of bats. Things that people can do outside the class to help with the bat endangerment is spread the word about bat endangerment, protect your water quality, do not disturb pre-existing bat habitats, keep rotting trees because bats can use those as a place to live, reduce pesticides because pesticides harm bugs and bats eat the bugs that they harm, plant more trees and flowers, and help break the stereotypes that surround bats.